P&D, Counselor Andrus,
Here.
Counselor Ball,
Here.
Counselor Wolverton,
Here.
Counselor Sims,
Here.
Counselor Nels.
Here.
All present.
Okay, we go from having barely a quorum to having a full committee, so I will begin with a motion to dispense with the reading and approve of the minutes from our previous meeting.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Motion from Counselor Sims, second from Counselor Nelms. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes 5-0. We have no old business. For new business, 10:05:22, public hearing set for August 22nd, 2022 at 6 p.m. to consider annexation into the city of Homewood for 314 Happy Lane, brought to us by Ketchum Properties, Melanie Salter, City Clerk, Robert Baguette.
And Counselor Andrus, because this is halfway in the police jurisdiction of Birmingham, I didn't realize that we had to actually do a resolution to accept the petition.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna actually have to, we haven't noticed that public hearing, even though President White said it, we're gonna have to actually move that one to be,
So we are carrying this item over.
well, no, we're actually gonna have to get y'all to send it back out to reset the public hearing
Okay.
for September.
First meeting.
Yeah, September the 12th. Was that yeah, September 12th. But before we went to the expense, because it has to be published in the paper, the applicant, is he here?
Yes.
Okay, wanted to come explain to y'all, either carry it over or send it out, that recommendation, but you're still gonna have to send it out, set the
out
public
tonight.
hearing, even if you leave the item in here.
Okay.
But he didn't want to go through all that, having to post for 90 days, or the times we had to post if y'all didn't know if y'all want to go through it. So that's why
Okay.
he came to address it.
Okay.
But we can't have the public hearing on the 22nd, that didn't give us enough time.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Jeffrey Ketchum, Ketchum Properties.
Nice to meet you, glad to talk to you on the
It's good to
phone.
see you. Yeah, so we've got this piece of property, with any of those emails on the survey company?
I thought I
Got
forwarded
it.
them, did you get them,
No.
the survey?
Sure.
Sounded like.
I don't think I sent it,
Can you throw that up there?
do you have it?
It's all incorporated.
Yes, please.
Do you know where it is?
What are their edge?
Do what? Yes.
So we bought this several years ago.
Yeah.
And my understanding was it actually was on the docket to be brought in. Gosh.
What'd you say?
I think maybe those of y'all that were on the council back then, I think it was on there for like a year, and just kept rolling over and rolling over. But anyways, I'm back. It wasn't me. So yeah, I was just trying to look at, explore, and bring it in. Happy Lane. Y'all know where? We
Yeah.
go through where that is. So go down Lake Shore, then head up like you're going up, Shane Oxford, then turn at the orthodontist, the little rail car, turn right there, and head on straight back right there. 6 acres. Currently, it's all county zoned residential. The whole street's zoned residential. No, you're good. So yeah, we would just be coming down West Oxmoor, come down Happy, and then the parcel. Go to the next slide, and it'll actually show the actual parcel. Right here, it's the 314. So it's 6 acres. Kind of makes this Tetris shape right here, right there. I do not have plans as of yet for how I'm going to develop it. My thoughts on it have been, I'd like to bring it into Homewood, but rather than me go to the expense of getting it into 4 lots, 6 lots, 8 lots, 10 lots, 12 lots, Jefferson County is going to have a whole different set of setbacks, a whole different, MPD calcs, all the different things that they're going to have. If I'd rather be in here and be in Homewood, then my proposal would be to get it into Homewood and then work with y'all as far as a development plan on, 4 lots, 5 lots, 6 lots, that kind of thing.
Can you tell me again what the adjacent properties, like where the Homewood line, like?
None of that's
None
Homewood.
of that is. So Homewood, it
None of
backs
that
up
is.
over here on Huntington, the subdivision, there, Shades Creek. Can you go over one more slide?
Shades Creek basically divides the city right now.
Okay, so,
Part of it's out So Shades Creek is right here
Yeah.
in the back of the property, and then on this side of Shades Creek is all
It's
Homewood.
all Homewood, okay.
So it touches the city somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
on a corner.
On the corner. Down over here.
Okay. The property,
That's a good
314 Happy Lane.
In the middle of
You
the
know
creek,
what orthodontics office is?
I really don't. I
with the railroad car out
The
front.
problem, the reason it wasn't annexed before is because the road was not
That's-
sufficient to provide
That's
for the
exactly my
access.
question. That road is not big enough, doesn't have enough easement to make it 30 feet, 29 foot,
Whatever
6
the
inches.
subdivision regulation.
And so
That's why it
for-
wasn't
to
Homewood.
get the access to it that's legal for what we need, the people that live along there's gotta, I think, have to give some access easements.
So that goes back to actually the Mulkey development.
Yeah.
So
That's
go,
right.
go back one more. So the reason Mulkey never could do it is because of my house. So you see right there, the previous, the Hovers, the previous homeowners would not
They wouldn't grant him access.
grant him access.
Yeah.
So the whole issue with room and right of way and all that lends, and ultimately, that's why I bought the property, because everything behind me where all the acreage is kind of dependent upon me doing something with my house. Right
So
here.
you come up to that property, but you're not part of Mulkey's property.
Correct.
Yeah,
So
but
the
both
Mulkey,
owners, they owned all of that.
yeah, the Mulkey development is all back here.
Right.
And he's got Bahuku's acreage
There was a
that,
fire
that
range
that he
there.
can't do anything with, because my house literally sits
Are you
just
the
off
only
the
one along there that's,
Mhm.
is that problem?
It's still
Yeah.
there?
So up here, the county just is in the process of having that rezoned, to actually split it into more lots. This big R1, the plot 360 right there. They're in the process of splitting that up, into, I think,
Is
6
there
or 7
sufficient
lots.
road right away now?
Sufficient, I don't know what the,
I think it's 29 feet, 6
Seems like
inches.
30 to 50 feet.
I don't know I have seen I know the Jefferson County Fire Department was out there on these earlier, lots, and they moved forward.
That's how you have ingress your property, those from the lots of thin half lane. The shooting range go back there.
The shooting range is around the corner, so go up Blackstock right there, and then continue on down, and then his range is back there.
And what's this road right here, this
Leisure
road?
Lane.
Happy Lane and Leisure
Yeah, yeah,
Lane.
Happy Lane and Leisure Lane. Leisure Lane is still there. It's just a little shotgun house at the end of it.
Okay. Okay, so Melody, you're saying we need to send this out, for
I mean,
Alex to.
you can leave it in here if you want.
Okay.
To come back to committee, I don't know, but we've got to at least authorize the public hearing to be changed to September 12th. because
Okay.
It's gotta be advertised in the paper, it's gotta
Okay,
have 90 days wait after that.
So I do feel like if we need to pass a resolution, we do need to leave this item in here, is that right? Yeah.
Jennifer,
Yep.
you have a question?
Yes.
Well, I think Counselor Sims did too, but
Yes, so my question is just thinking about this down the road. So the request is for annexation and you're planning on doing future development. But I think a problem for the city is if we were to provide, say, trash and garbage service, that's out of the way compared to current routes because of the way that property is located off Happy Lane versus access from the south where there is adjacent city property. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Would the development include access from the south? Or could that not happen because of Shades Creek?
It could.
He
it
doesn't
could
own
happen.
that property.
Right.
I mean, it is, you know, your sanitation, everybody's driving up and down this road, they drive right past Happy every time they go and service that whole area.
Yeah.
I mean, it is,
Two neighborhoods now.
you're driving right past it, and you're talking a quarter mile down Happy Lane. So it would
But
be
you can't get
turning,
into the-
yes, it would be making a turn to go down the street. But we're also, we're talking 4 or 5 houses, that's.
Well, I mean,
At the end of one
the
street.
reason I bring it up is because, there's constantly trying to, work through situations where sanitation has trouble turning around in roads, or this and that. There's just constantly different considerations where people who are in the city are being served. So I want to make sure we're thinking ahead, in that respect too, because from both the future property owners' consideration as well as the efficiency of services,
Can I ask
it's
you a
important.
question?
Sure.
I mean, typically, when someone asks to annex in, it's also with a zoning tied to the annexation. In other words, I want to annex in and I want this zoning. We don't know the zoning, we're annexing the property without knowing what you're gonna,
Correct.
Would that be typical?
You can only do that in the last 5 years. Previously, you had to annex it in and then rezone it, but now you can tie the annexation to the zone.
So that request will come at the same time.
My thought, this is just full disclosure, my thoughts had been, I would rather get it in and then figure out how we're gonna do it, as opposed to me come up with this elaborate plan and,
That's at his risk.
and have 4 or 5 houses I can put it. Worst case scenario, I'd, I guess move out there, tear a house down, build myself a house.
So-
Be happy, literally.
Go ahead, Andrew.
So the house is, my understanding, I'd heard from some realtors actually, that the house has been redone recently and is potentially being listed for sale.
Yes, so everything's always for sale.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
Full disclosure there too, yeah.
Okay.
Everything's always for sale, and we have redone the house. It's been totally good and it's been completely updated.
Gotcha.
So yes.
Because if you were to develop it, the house is dead center on the in the property line. So I don't know.
Yeah, more than likely, if we were to develop it, we would slice it up. I could see us moving the house back off the road, or we could potentially cut a road that comes in around it. I guess we could tear it down as well. But
yeah. Wouldn't think that would be a good solution to having put money into it right now, but
yeah, it doesn't have a lot of money in it. It wouldn't be.
Okay.
The road would be, if the road's the hang up, the road's the hang up. But my goal is not to tear it down. It's a
Gotcha.
beautiful house.
sure.
The hang up to the road is simply the road getting to you, because it's not a city of Homewood road, it'd still be in the county outside now. You're saying the property owners, 340, is gonna subdivide it into the county, is that what you're saying?
So 360 right there, and I don't know all the details of what they've done, but yes, basically they've subdivided out little, I think 50, don't quote me on that, maybe 50 to 150 foot lots right there.
It's currently
The problem is getting from Locksmore Road to your property by a road that would permit and comply with our subdivision regulations. Trucks.
So is there a regulation if it's, like, for me, this isn't a subdivision?
If you wanted to subdivide, one house, maybe a driveway would work. Multi-family would not.
Sure, I guess, once again, my ignorance in this, I just don't know. If we keep it at 3 houses, does that less regulatory on how wide the road has to be?
Are you asking like a PRD, right? Like
If you divided it for more than one house, you're gonna have to meet the subdivision regulations and have permitted access to get fire engines, garbage trucks, those kind of things to service your property.
If it's more than one?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we looked at that years ago about putting ball fields and stuff back there, and I did with Mr. Kendrick, that was our issue, was getting
access.
access back there on that road.
Yeah, the city's declined buying that property
Yeah.
4 or 5 times.
Well, it's for sale.
The problem is, you don't own all of it.
Well, I know, but yeah.
yeah, really, that's right. Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Councilman.
So you've got 314, 310 is the Mulkey development. Have you been in any discussions with them about purchasing that property?
About with Mulkey?
Yeah.
When I bought the property a couple years ago, I called them up, introduced myself, and then that was the extent of that.
Okay.
I did come up and look when Greg was still here, and he showed me. We were talking it through, and we kind of talked through what they had pitched years ago.
Gotcha. Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still confused, but we need to send this out, correct? Okay.
You wanted some indication before we went to. Yes,
Yeah.
before you can annex the property, you have to send out.
Okay.
For a public hearing, it's
Right.
gotta be 90 days, because half the property is more than halfway between Homewood's existing sub-regulations and the city of Birmingham, that it's within the police jurisdiction.
Okay.
But he didn't want to do that, it's
Yeah.
at the expense of publishing it, I guess
If we don't have a recommendation, we're not gonna give a recommendation because we haven't had a public hearing.
I know, but I guess he
Well-
was just wanting to, I know y'all can't speak for the council, but like, if it can't
We
be
can't
done.
speak
So-
until we hear from the public,
Can I,
right?
can I ask a quick question?
Well, you can't promise him anything, I guess that's why he just wanted to come and see if
I
it was
want to begin a
feasible.
conversation. I
All the
apologize.
time.
It's not
If it's not,
No,
if it's not
preface it
doable or
with-
something like
I
that,
can't
that's
speak for
what.
anyone else.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to put it all
Neither was
together
any
here.
guarantees, but-
Okay.
You really only want it annexed if there's potential to build more than just the structure that's already on it, right? Because it sounds like if you, based on what Mr. Kendrick is saying, if you were to build more than one home on the property, then you have to find a way to get all this Happy Lane right away built out, built to spec for the city.
I think that's gonna be cost prohibitive.
Right, that's what I'm saying,
For
so-
4 houses to put a $500,000 road in just doesn't make sense.
So that's what I'm
That's what I'm
asking,
saying.
you know, is there even a point in
Yeah.
sending it out?
Okay.
Because it sounds like if what Mr. Kendrick is saying is
Right.
cost prohibitive,
Yeah.
then he doesn't, correct me if I'm wrong, you may not have much interest in pursuing it.
Correct. The clarification I would have on that is if I can just build one house out there, and can I leave the road alone?
So is that a proffer? I mean.
You got one house there now, you have
Take-
to subdivide it to build a second.
I tear that one down and build
It's
another
gotta meet the
house.
subdivision regulations.
Yeah, I would just have one house.
Tore that one down, tear the one down and
Yeah.
build another one with you. And
Yeah.
it's still just one house.
Then I would not need to do any road improvements. Nope.
I don't think that's a subdivision.
Okay. And that's what I was trying to figure out, is what constitutes this as a subdivision? One house, two house, three house?
Yeah, if you subdivide that property in more than one lot, it would be a subdivision.
Okay.
Did you catch him? Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Phil Mulkey paid nothing for that land, okay? And he does want to do something with it. He called me up as soon as I got on the council to talk to me about it. He's got the ability to make more money off of what he owns. If you guys could together figure out how to widen that road and go deal with that road, he's gonna benefit more than you are, and he should pay for it, in my opinion. He's not gonna like that. But that might be the solution for your property, is to get him on board to kind of help develop that road so that it meets our standards.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Thank John.
Good answer.
I'm happy to call him for you.
He's a road builder too.
But don't mind the school.
That's why he had to vote. He didn't want to do that.
He tried.
Phil's tight.
John's your man.
There we go. It's been yeah.
Okay, right, so, okay,
You want us to set the public hearing?
I think so. I think, to me, it's worth continuing, even if it's just one house.
okay. With that, then, I'll
I make
entertain
a
a motion.
motion for approval without recommendation.
Maybe set,
No.
Oh,
Set
with
the
the
pub-
proper.
You'll make a motion to send out without recommendation, pending the public hearing, correct? Sorry. Yeah, okay, Gwaltney,
Indeed.
okay, second? Second.
I still have a question about this.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I'm just pulling off parallels here.
Okay.
So Abbey Lane may not be up to our specifications.
We know.
It is not a road.
Correct.
So I'm trying to use a parallel of Abbey Lane here, where we don't offer trash service. to know how this is gonna be different, just because there's no subdivision involved. Because I'm trying to compare those two. Because I know Abbey Lane, we gave them, we know that the HOA is responsible for the road improvements, but we're not offering trash service because it's not up to our road specs, right?
I think, let me say this to you. Abbey Lane is a private road. That is a public road.
Yeah. Well, the Abbey
It doesn't
Lane
meet our
has,
subdivision regulations.
yeah. But Abbey Lane has said they'll, that we have an easement to go give trash service.
It is a private road. It is a private road.
It is a private road.
That is a public road.
Yes.
It services multiple houses, multiple properties.
So does Abbey Lane though, but if it's property within the city of Homewood, which is it is a private road, but the residents will give us easement through the HOA to give services.
But it doesn't meet the specs to be able to get the trucks up in there.
That's right, so how do we know that the same thing's not with Abbey Lane if that's what we're
Because it's a
saying?
multiple house subdivision, that's one piece of property.
Yeah.
That's what we've talked about.
Yeah.
It has not been subdivided.
But the
Abbey
access,
Lane is, well, I don't know how many houses are there. Six or eight? Multiple, more than one.
right,
There's houses all over Homewood that have driveways that service, not multiple things.
okay, I just needed to understand that by
Abbey Lane
comparison.
is a private road.
It is.
Abbey Lane is a public road.
No, I agree with that, but it's a public road that is not, that's a county public road, right? So I was only talking through the clarifying points of that, because I do understand that the difference between a public road and a private road. I'm just also trying to understand, the comparison in granting, easements for access, and so I was just wanting to clarify that before, because if he's gonna progress, I don't want him tied in later to something to have to make improvements for one house. So I just wanna make sure I was clear on how we're treating that differently. So,
Okay.
I guess, is the question, if this gets annexed into the city and improvements need to be made to that road, is the city taking on that responsibility?
No, we can't because it's not our road. We can't spend money on that road. Is there anything I've learned from?
And everything, the Williamsville property in Oxmoor, in the county is not.
Correct.
They would have to do it
We
county.
can't do it. Okay, I've got a
If you
motion.
send it out without recommendation, though, we still need the recommendation to change the public hearing date to set.
Motion
Okay, is
is
that part-
set a public hearing for September 12th, 2022 is what the proper motion should be.
Okay,
Send
Mr.
that
Motion, Council Watley.
recommendation with-
Pending public hearing.
To be set for September 12th.
Okay, is that your second, Councilor
Yes.
Nelms? Okay. Motion from Councilor Gwaltney, second Councilor Nelms, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that passes 5-0.
Are you sending it totally out then with the
Okay.
public hearing, just letting it sit on the council agenda? You don't want it, you don't want it?
I do not want to come, I don't want to come back. That's the part I don't understand. Like, does it need to come back to me?
It doesn't have to come back, does it? Here?
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. All right, next item, 160522, request to amend ordinance 2810 to accurately reflect land parcels requested to be annexed into the city of Homewood.
You got
Per
this one,
annexation
Sarah?
petition, Cale Smith, Melanie Salter.
You gonna address this one, or?
I can talk to this,
I hope so, because you understand it better than I do. I know when all I know is that we annexed it in, the legal description, we had one parcel.
I can explain.
Okay, good.
All right,
All right.
Mr. Kendrick?
When we annexed the property, the petition, as I understand it, had the legal description given for the ordinance was one lot. In fact, it's multiple lots and some right of way.
25 feet.
Yeah. So the ordinance legal description only brings in lot 23, when in fact they wanted lot 23, 24, and some other
Right.
parcel.
Is it 33, 23, or 33?
The numbers might not be
Yeah,
right.
I think it may be
I think
33,
it
I'm
was
positive.
33. So what they're asking, or what you need to do, is amend the ordinance to include both lots and this other piece of property as a part of the annexation.
It was just the legal description that got sent to us was.
Yeah, they sent, the petition
Incorrect.
didn't have the correct legal description. We adopted an ordinance based on the petition, and now they say that they want to annex the property that was included in the original petition.
Yeah, what address?
Don't-
Cale, do you know the address?
No, I can find it.
Because my concern would be if we are intending to annex one piece of property and now we're potentially annexing three, Does it have an impact on our schools?
Oh, it's the same geography and they just labeled it wrong.
Wait, say that again.
Well,
How many parcels
we were
is
under
it?
the assumption we were annexing one parcel. The
It's
vote-
it's one parcel that is existing as 2.5 lots.
Okay. So it could be subdivided in the future, but they would have to go to the planning commission for that.
That's right.
Okay. And what street was this on?
That's what
Sorry.
Did you say 1.5 lots or 2?
2.5, he said.
It's 2 lots.
1621 Lakewood Drive.
Yeah. This is the one over by you, Julie. This is the one over by you, right?
Yeah.
So if you chose to correct it, you'd have to
yeah.
amend the ordinance.
Okay.
Essentially repeal what you've previously done and adopt a new ordinance.
But this one, we don't have to set a public hearing, since
So
it's
it's
not.
adjacent to, it's surrounded by.
That's right.
Can we get a picture or try to pull it up here?
Yeah, it was one of those up there, a lot of those in Jefferson County for a long time.
If I can. I want to check.
Can he screen share, Brian? Can he screen share? Can Andy screen share?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go on, man, scratch everything, man.
Still trying to figure out his computer.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it's just, this keyboard thing is really complicated.
Can I email you this, Andy, and you can screen share?
Please do so.
Or email to Brian, yeah, you send to Brian.
Okay.
I was trying to close down all those dirty pages.
Today,
I'm
Kevin.
trying to close out all my work stuff, you know, if I fall asleep.
You know how to use one?
I ain't volunteering, well, I ain't doing
Mm-hmm. I know, it looks nice, doesn't it? And that sunset looks nice, doesn't it?
I'm just saying.
I remember this is the 2 women that
That's
inherited the property.
I remember that, yeah.
There was a corrective deed done, and this one, the county caught it.
Yeah, after it came to us.
Right. You heard, Rob? I emailed it to Jenny. That's all right.
We didn't airdrop it, Brian, hurry up.
This is just words, is that what you guys want?
Just words.
Yeah, there's
Just words.
Yeah, that and the,
That helps.
I'm trying to.
the description that I sent in the.
That's the declassified version.
It's unofficial.
Yeah, this is the sisters.
They're sisters, yeah.
That's right.
I think it was their old home place, their mom and dad.
That's
We're just gonna have to take a picture on the way home soon, you know.
Yeah, I can do that. Wow. One piece of property that was listed as 2.5, and it's one parcel. Is that right? It's one parcel,
Right.
2.5
One-
lots.
It's one parcel with multiple lots.
Yeah. Okay. All right, any other questions? Go ahead.
What, I guess I'm not sure, what's all the purchase price, data sale, all that stuff on this document?
Show that they love money for that.
But I mean, is this,
Rent the land
is
or
this
what?
before or after we did the ordinance?
It's after.
But it says date of sale, March 21st, 20.
Well, that's what I was thinking we did this longer than 6 weeks ago, yeah.
Well, that's why they wanted it in Homewood, so they were gonna put it up for sale.
Yeah.
July
They got it. They
2021
wanted
when
it.
we did it.
Okay.
The legal description was lot 33. The real legal description is lot 33 and lot 34, plus a vacated portion of Sunset Drive adjacent to the south of lot 34.
Because when their parents lived there, they hadn't unincorporated Jefferson County, they wanted to have an agent.
Who is it vacated by?
I have no idea.
Okay, all right, let's.
All right.
Let's get, yeah.
I'll bring maps and stuff next week.
Okay.
Okay, any questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve or not. Motion to positive, okay. Help me out, let's wrap this up, okay.
Yes, that, we're motioning to approve.
Okay,
Second.
okay, thank you. I have a motion from Counselor Wolverton and a second from Counselor Sims. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that passes 5-0. And with that, we are adjourned.